Oh, where's your discus? That's right. There it is.
I can still hear you from there. You know that. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
no,
what
and
I
I've
find.
actually listened to a couple. They don't sound too
Uh,
bad. You got to turn it up a little bit.
you do, but it comes at the it does uh, it does its job in terms of actually muffling out a lot of what bullshit you could hear in the background because you will hear cars go by and stuff like that, and it actually tends to
If it's like a
wash out.
motorcycle, yeah,
Yeah,
you'll hear
yeah,
it, but it's not as bad as it used to be.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I actually tore down my entire podcast rig at home. So,
You did? Oh, because you
yeah,
had to move it.
well, yeah, and I gave my computer to my daughter, and I was like, you know
Right.
what? I don't think I'm going to do any more videos. So I was like, well, I'll save this stuff, but I was kind of like, I think I'm done with this. So,
Well, you're gonna have to do them again sometimes for class, right?
well, the laptop I've got has got a great camera in it,
Yeah.
and then it's got a perfectly fine serviceable mic. And so if I ever have to do that again, but I got to be blunt, man. So I've done like YouTube videos for classes and stuff. I'm not doing those anymore either because nobody fucking watches them.
That's it.
So I mean, I've got some up there like that I made probably about 7, 8 years ago
Yeah.
that are like full blown hour-long lectures. They get like 2 views a fucking semester. So
Yeah.
and like the other one, so I did ones for when I was teaching stats that were like little 5 minute mini, like
Yeah.
this is how you do this.
Yeah.
Those got shitloads of views.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but not
Yeah.
just from my students, but from people all over the place. But I don't teach that anymore.
Thanks for the free information, but that's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the lectures, those are kind of like CYA lectures. Like, so if somebody says I missed this or whatever, it's like, hey, no worries, the material is
That's
there.
totally what they're there for.
So
And
it's
some people have said, oh, they're really cool and I really enjoyed them and stuff like that. But, it's just people don't learn like that anymore. I mean, I do. I'll listen to an hour and a half long podcast, no problem. Kind of thing. But it's, not something that's part of a class that I'm trying to take. It's just like, oh, that sounds interesting. Let me see what this is, kind of thing.
actually that's a. Are we going?
Are, yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
Are we?
I don't know.
Yes, we're going. Anyway,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Pat.
All right, Ben. I'm Jeffrey. So I guess so. I mean, you're in the thick of it, I suppose. So, has your method of learning actually changed over time?
Mine has totally changed.
Yeah.
So I don't read shit anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do if it's like so if I'm doing like I'm writing I'm doing we just punched in another research article. I had to read a shitload for that.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's special. Okay, and that's not like I'm not really reading that to learn it. I'm reading that to like like iron out all the corners of what other people have done. So I know what's already been done, so I'm not trying to do that again. And I know that these guys talked about this, so I have to incorporate them into my work somehow, kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
not really to learn the topic, it's more so to, like, we call it a lit map, where you're trying to map out all the literature that's been associated with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do read those pretty intensely. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about manuscripts that are probably about 7,000 words. So, I mean, that's not that much. So, you know,
You said words. I thought pages. I'm like, I don't know.
no, no,
I
no,
don't know
no,
where the fuck you come from,
no,
but that
no,
sounds a lot. It's like, I thought you were
words.
just. I thought you were serious, just kind of like, oh, that's a lot to you, pussy. There was a.
No, man, they
You said it
literally
so
take.
casually.
I mean, and honestly, I mean, depending on how closely you want to read it, I mean that's why things are all formatted in APA. It's like, all right, so it's all designed so that you can skip large chunks of it and not
All right,
worry about
fair.
it.
Yeah,
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 or you can find exactly what it is that you're looking for.
yeah.
It's really reader friendly, unlike other ones where it's like, hey, check out footnote 1.2a,
You want to just say it by name? You want to
it's
call out?
Chicago style. Fuck those
Okay,
people.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
the lawyer one, the ABA is just as bad too. So it's got little squiggly snakes and
You know why?
hieroglyphs and shit in
You know
it.
why? Because they want to keep people out.
Yeah, keep people out. Yeah, whites only.
I mean, they will confer the title on people of color, but they try not to. they really try to poll tax the shit out of these people.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if I mean, and this is not to say I disagree with it, but I mean, if they had just a brief thing when you go to the polls, it's like, look, this is not going to be a long one, but here's 10 questions. Um, I'm not saying you have to get a
It's
hundred.
distinctly illegal, Jeff. It is distinctly illegal.
So, my mentor that shoots lightning from his fingertips, he once told me that I will make it
Yeah,
legal.
we'll make it legal.
So there's
Yeah.
a I get it,
My mentor.
right?
Oh, Johnny, he's a nice guy. Yeah.
So I'm going to shadow under Palpatine
I'm
this summer.
gonna say,
I'm
yeah,
gonna,
exactly. I'm gonna understudy.
So I did my unpaid internship with
Right, yeah,
Palpatine. Yeah.
exactly.
Uh,
You were a page. Bring me my coffee.
it's expensive, dude. I'm not. I mean,
Yeah.
do you actually want coffee, or do you? Because this drink that you have, it's basically like Gatorade Red with coffee in it. Because I don't think you actually like coffee, dude. I think
Right.
that's the problem. Why don't you just drink that?
Yeah, Purple Source Rex.
More or less, it's like you call it coffee, but I mean, this is just a straight up banana split with some fucking liquid thrown on top of it, dude. Your drink comes with a spoon. What does that tell you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I don't. It's hard for me to think about him in particular, like dietary wise, but I mean, it's something that
He's probably got like the Hitler diet where he has to eat like fucking mush.
no, wasn't that
Oh no, that was Mussolini.
was he ever had?
Yeah, he
Hitler
had
was vegetarian though.
Hitler was a vegetarian, but he didn't have to eat garbage. He just did that by choice. Mussolini was the guy who always ate alone because they put him on this like diet of like rice and milk, because he had like, I mean, whatever, eh, some kind of
just
gastrointestinal.
fucking
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking
Italian
about a guy,
stomach fungus. Yeah,
Italian stomach fungus. Yeah, Sicilian gut rot. Yeah. But he always ate alone because he was embarrassed by that.
good.
So yeah, well, I mean, it's Italian, It's like everybody shows up and
Oh yeah,
yeah,
pointing
the
with their
big
fingers.
bowls,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, family style. Sure,
family style,
sure.
yeah. And so he would always eat alone.
Good. I hope he fucking ate outside with a dish with his name on it. On the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, that was a weird historical fact. I don't know where I know that from.
You know why?
Huh.
Because you've read fucking everything there is to read, and
Probably.
virtually, I'm certain that you've seen pretty much every show of worth that covers that time period and that event in any meaningful
I've
capacity.
seen it. I've seen enough of it where I know, like, if somebody's fucking with it.
I think
So,
so. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I know now. In fact, there's a lot of parts of history that are kind of like this. Like, I know enough to know that you're full of shit. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Where people try to. I hate to say it. I hate to draw this comparison, but it's a lot of things. In the same way, it's a lot of what people try to do with literature at this point is
Yeah.
they try to find a line or a rare event or something that proves a rule that is absolutely not the rule.
Like what?
Well, so that would be like uh, right now one of the ones because there's a new movie coming out about it, for the Odyssey, right?
Oh, I've heard bad things about that. What's up with it?
So my understanding here is that a lot of this version that they're going with is coming from essentially an extremely feminist reinterpretation
You're talking
of
about
this.
probably the second most masculine book ever written, behind the Iliad.
I would say like it's up there. I mean,
Dude, there's naked ladies singing at you on an island.
there are masculinity is you get
You have
into
to
a
shoot an
couple.
arrow through a bunch of arrowheads or harpoon heads, right? That's that one, isn't it?
There's that.
You have to
There's a
bend the bow.
so again, you're talking about like what version you can put a couple of things into that most masculine thing ever, right? Um, I would argue that it's hard not to consider that. I would argue that it's hard not to consider like you're going to take a guy like me and say, Johnny Tremaine's a pretty masculine book. It's a story of a deformed guy
He
that
melts his hand. Yeah.
that's correct, and wouldn't have had it turn out that way if they didn't tell him to put it in butter. Um,
Oh yeah,
that absolutely happened.
that absolutely happened. Yeah.
That's the same kind of like that's kind of like, man, I feel like I got the flu. It's like, well, fucking leech the shit out of this man. That'll make him better. Um, so it is what it is. But yeah, and again, it's like, well, I'm gonna. It's
There's not even any female characters in the Odyssey, are there?
there are.
Well, okay, so there's his wife and his son
All bad.
Telemachus.
I mean, that's the thing. Like Cersei is not a good person. This is sorceress. This is a. I mean, this is turning people.
Cersei?
Yeah, this is people like turning people into pigs.
Cersei is his wife?
No,
No.
that's the sorceress. Um,
Oh man, it's been a minute since I've read that.
you're
So
fine.
I don't remember.
Don't worry about it. But I mean, let just. I'll put it to you gently. There's no fucking girl bossing in the Odyssey.
No.
No,
No, no.
there's not.
Isn't he the only guy who makes it back from his crew?
Oh,
They
really?
all get eaten and shit. You know,
I don't remember if he's the only guy,
I think he's the only guy.
but it wouldn't surprise me because
I think
that's
he's the sole survivor. Doesn't he go to Hades? He
in.
does. He does, if I recall.
I mean, is there?
Or is that Hercules? No, that would be Roman.
Um,
No, that's still Greek. Dude, it's been a minute. I remember the Iliad pretty well because I actually read that maybe like 10 years ago.
did you?
Yeah. Um. Well, it's not that long. Neither is the Odyssey. It's not that long
Well, and so just to get back to the point, and you're right. If anything, you're exposing how long it's been since I've actually read this thing.
either. It's been a minute.
But there are things where they're saying they're making these claims where they're saying like, well, how do you know that Helen of Troy wasn't black? And you can go straight to it and it says,
Helen of Troy's not even in that fucking book.
well, I again
Yeah. Okay.
because I mean this is part of what starts the adventure. But I mean it's the you can go in there and say, oh, actually the passages say that it's this. It says that she's fair skinned. It says that she's
She's
like
the
this.
fairest of fair skins,
Right,
the golden of goldenest hair, and the perfect boobs.
right. It does not
It does say that.
right,
Yeah.
but it doesn't say that she was black.
Nope.
I mean, in the same thing where
I mean, they can't even. This is like they spun out real bad. What was it, 3 years ago with Cleopatra on that?
yeah,
So where he pissed off the entire nation of Egypt.
we got to reprint a lot of our fucking money.
Yeah.
If yeah, that same kind of, so they try to find these sort of like off passages that say that well you don't know. It's like, well, no, they're very descript here. This is what you forget about a lot of writers here is they never looked at this. It's like they were getting paid like 25 cents a word, so they never held back and decided that's like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it up to the reader's imagination. And I understand like there are certain things um, where some of those things can be left to interpretation. I know one of the things where people would talk about like, and I didn't read them, so I don't know, but they talk about the Harry Potter books and say like, oh, how do you know Hermione isn't black? I'm like, well, she says she's not. And they talk about what
Harry Potter?
yeah, I've seen the passages where it's like, nope, this is just
Yeah, no, she's not.
what they go
She's
out
not. The Weasleys aren't. Harry Potter isn't. They're all white.
what they do go out of their way to do is, and again, this
They
is
have a lot of multicultural characters in that book, though, and they're all British.
but
Which is the thing. They're all British kids. There's no like fucking international. Well, actually, there is an international exchange program in the
There you
fifth
go.
book.
Oh.
Okay, and so that there's schools overseas. Okay, but like all the kids, they're like I mean, there's ones. I mean, well, it's like Britain, man. I mean, it's kind of a melting
Yes.
pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
depending on which part of Britain you're talking
this
about, but
is
yes.
all before all that bullshit, man.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you got to remember these books came out in the early 2000s. So we're like, okay, so I don't even think they had that bombing at the train station at that point in time. So
Would have been close, but I think you're right.
yeah, but even then, I mean, that's when the movies came out. The books were a couple years before those.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you know. Um, yeah,
But
yeah.
this,
I mean, that one's completely open to interpretation in some respects. But I mean, J.K. Rowling wouldn't have a problem with it. She didn't give a shit. So she
no,
kind of wrote it like that.
no.
So
The only thing
Homer
that
did not.
and again, there's this component of you could say that again. So his whole thing is he's the first to write it down,
Yeah,
but this was an oral like that was passed down from people to people.
right.
Though it would
Written a long time ago in a galaxy far,
it would it would be odd for Homer at that point to say like, no, I'm gonna whitewash the shit out of
Dude,
this.
that didn't
Like,
even
don't
matter back
even
then. Come on,
fucking
man.
like off with that shit. And the
I
same
mean,
thing.
you can't take something like how old is the Odyssey? The Odyssey's, I mean, it predates. It predates. I think. Uh, so when is the Spartans are 300 BC? I think it
Right.
predates that. So,
I wish I knew a little bit more about ancient Greek, but there is
well, regardless, it's 2,000 plus years old. Okay, I mean, this might as well
oh,
have been written on the fucking moon if you're gonna actually use like any kind of modern interpretive lens
if you're
with it.
asking, look, the important thing was Christ stomping around yet or not? No, he was
No, he
not.
was not.
No,
Yeah, this is definitely before
no,
Jesus.
no,
So yeah,
no, because Jesus would have killed all these things. Well, he wouldn't have, but
with lasers.
and lo and behold, Christ looked upon the Cyclops, and the Cyclops did die. Um, and Jesus said, "I will you to be unalive," and so it was. Um, but yeah, they do the same. I'm sure you've seen this a million times over, where um, dispense the 99 paragraphs that precede it
Yeah,
of Tolkienisms. If there's one line in there where it says like she looked dark in the sun, it's like
she's black.
right. It's
Right.
like well, no, she's standing in a shadow. It says that in the next sentence.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I know they cherry pick, and I don't understand exactly why they do that, man. I mean,
You know why they do
no,
it.
I don't understand exactly why they do that. You know, it's not like history doesn't have tons of different things that you can tell stories about. Why do you have to retcon the same one over and over again? I don't get that. So,
You're making my point.
yeah, I know.
I've
Yeah,
made
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Well, remember the person that sits in this seat when I'm not occupying it,
right,
right? Um,
right, yeah.
the
Mister, I love everything.
Mr. I love everything that isn't a food. Um, but he's basically the Hollywood apologist here. It's like, well, it's still the same story.
As
I
long
think
as
it
he
was
has
still
fun,
entertaining,
yeah. As long
right?
as he has
I
fun,
gotcha.
that's fine. I just don't find movies fun anymore, Jeff.
You know what?
There's nothing fun about them anymore.
I find a lot of
It's like,
movies
how
fun.
much fucking jujitsu can we actually fit in one movie? Let's do it. Oh, this one's got swords in it. Cool. I bet you the sword fight's going to take about 9 minutes longer than it normally would. Yeah.
So
Awesome.
again, you can take that for what it's worth. You can make that fun. You can again. I always the absurdity of Roddy Piper trying to make Keith David put the glasses on for 8 straight
Son of a
minutes
bitch.
is that's keynote. That's like magnificent. It is at the end where the movie thinks it has a point to make that in this movie, I'm like, I get it.
We got to blow up the TV, man.
There's such a tonal disconnect where
This poor guy's satellite dish on his fucking bank here, man.
yep, and they're in the homeless camp, and
Oh yeah,
there's this weird kind of like bluesy riff going through the whole thing, and it's
yeah.
halfway about like homelessness and all this other stuff and vagrancy, and then you get to this. All right, so this is what the lizard people really are, and to me, again, if you'd have just if you'd have just said what you meant, if you'd have just said like, look, I get it. They're Israeli. I understand. Just say it.
Just say
It's
it.
fine. Tell me the teleporter goes straight to Israel. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It doesn't have to go to space. It's fine. But yeah, it's such a either you have to start setting that up earlier in terms of like where this seriousness is going to go, or you have to like you have to ride this goofiness through to the end, right? And you have to treat that as goofy until the very end. But you
You
can't.
kind of do, man. I mean, there's something about that movie. Like 5 minutes into it, you realize it's like, wow, they're running out of money fast, and we're only 5 minutes in. You know?
And you know what? There is something goddamn charming about it. But there is a component to this where, yeah, if you look at me and say like, I want you to take this seriously as a very meaningful part of uh, I don't want to say capitalist satire because that's not what that is. It's not. It's not. It's not that. The things where they're talking about, they're like, oh, they like the consume thing. It's like, guys, that's not a
Nah,
capitalist satire.
yeah.
It's basically a preoccupation. You know, there's a class outside of a class. Like that's the point. It is not that capitalism bad, right? If you reduce it to
No,
that here, and if you say if I can read that in your first paragraph here,
you already lost the plot, man.
it's not just that you
Yeah,
lost the plot, it's that you just lost your job to an AI because the AI does the job better than
yeah.
you. Okay? We don't need that kind of like base level journalism because you're only seeing what you want to see. You didn't look at this for what it was actually presenting. And again, if you want to just look at it and say like, hey, cuffs and collar don't match. It's two different movies. It's in the same token where people are like, isn't Dust Till Dawn a good movie? Like, it's a movie.
It is a movie. It
It's
qualifies.
it's a movie half a guy did, and then the other dude said like, "Hey, I don't have time to finish this. Just like, don't copy my homework too much. Change some names."
He changed the name
Um,
on this thing, man. Yeah.
right. And he makes this completely different thing here, and they staple it together, and they're like, "Well, check it out. There's this ancient temple on the back of this at the end of the movie." I'm like, "Yep, it's a movie, but
It's
it's
fine.
not. So yeah. In the same way, yeah, where I constantly for decades it's been kind of like, wasn't this isn't this like when you read it this way, isn't Shakespeare gay or a woman or some other thing? I'm like, nah, it's just a guy. It's just a
He's
guy.
just a
It's
guy.
just a guy.
Yeah.
Lots of people wrote like this around the time,
Yeah.
and that's just because they were wordsmiths by necessity.
I had a professor in college who was convinced that, I mean, there was Shakespeare. This was 30 years ago almost, man. I mean, there were people back then who had, Shakespeare conspiracies
Uh,
about like, oh no, it was actually this Lord guy, blah blah
uh,
blah, and then the other was like, no, he actually copied it all from Marlowe, blah blah blah.
uh,
I mean, and so it's kind of fun to play with. It's kind of like who shot JFK. So
yeah, but that's the thing. When they actually release the information, it's like we knew all this.
yeah, I know they didn't actually have
Yeah,
anything else, man.
yeah.
So now like people are, oh my god, they didn't. You need to release the real file. So it's like,
Right,
dude.
right.
It was like, well, you can sit here, bro. I'm gonna pack my shit and go.
Yeah, yeah,
This game's over, bro. I
totally
want to beat
understand.
traffic.
Yeah, and again, you've seen this happen. They do this in history. Again, it's they try to find slots for things to go, and try to give representation to people that try to. Again, if you're trying to put a Marxist spin on something, 300 years before
They do that
Marx
all the
existed,
time.
it's like,
Yeah.
guys, like I get it, I get
No.
it.
Jesus was a socialist. Really?
Like,
Okay. That existed back then, huh?
it's like
Okay.
I have read that dude's book, and
Yeah. He said, it's like if you want to share, share, but don't take somebody else's shit.
man was very clear.
He's pretty clear about
He
that.
did
Yeah.
not say what he did not say. He said specifically, he said, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar.
Correct.
He
Yeah.
did not say, he did not say, specifically, he did not say that, the problem here is that Caesar controls the means of production.
Yeah.
Right?
Caesar is a monetarist.
He did not say that. He
This is
did
not the
not.
problem. No, this is not the
Uh-uh. In fact,
problem.
unlike most people like to remember here, is the first occupation of Jesus before he took a full time career, street haranguing people, is that he had a real position. He was a
He was a
carpenter.
carpenter.
Yeah. And I can guarantee you that at some points he was like, "Man, I miss that carpenter money," because
It's a good life.
he's seeing people at this point. He's seeing folks that like they went to school and they're looking at these degrees that they have, and they're like, I feel like this should pay more than it does.
Oh yeah.
And but Jesus kind of like, listen, man, like I got what you're saying, like, and I'm not trying to bag on you. If you did this for the sake of knowledge, it's great. But ultimately, sociologists can't build fences, and what I need is a fence.
I need a fence right now.
Right, right. So, did you ever consider a trade?
Oh no, no, I don't get my hands dirty. I don't want to. I don't want to have a regular schedule.
All right, well, that's fine. But just understand that you can't go on the vacations you want to go on if you're going to do that, right?
Yeah.
You just have to accept that life's a little bit different. There's this.
It is a hard one, man. I've known people who've done that, and then they go do social work for a little while and realize it's absolutely brutal work.
You have to want it.
You do have to want it,
So
So
there's this.
it's out there, but it is brutal.
So one of the just you never know when one of your responses is going to just like fucking take off. There was this.
Now that you've been sprung, yeah,
That's
Robert
correct.
Banks
Fucking
again.
not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Right in the car with my Tommy gun again, man.
So,
We're gonna go to the next town over, Bonnie.
I don't know which one of you guys thought that an 8-point match was conclusive,
Right.
but I'm not guilty. But there was this video kind of dealing with this. Is there's this TikTok bitch. She's sitting in her car and she's complaining. She's like, "Well, I do these 12-hour shifts at the ER
I doubt
in
it.
the operating room."
Oh, is she an actual doctor?
No, Patrick, because she would say she's a doctor. We
Oh.
don't know what she does, but I can tell you that if the headline is that you're a doctor and you have to DoorDash on the side,
That's not true.
you're not a doctor.
You're not a doctor.
Now, the whole thing is she lives in
You're
Seattle.
not even a nurse then at that point in time.
What are you?
So I don't know.
You're a tech. You're a tech or a janitor.
You might be a janitor, yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
So she's fucking complaining. There's a subtitle on here that says "America's a joke." She's fucking whining up a storm about this.
I'm tired of that stuff. I see that shit all the time.
Now, the whole thing is I didn't jump on her right away. My whole point was like, so my thesis was need more info.
Are you sure she's not actually AI generated, man? I think a lot of that shit is fake.
No, she's a human being,
Okay.
because this is where the story gets on a real fun turn. Is so my whole thing is like, need more info, right? What job does she do in this department? She says that she works 12 hours, a shift. I'm like, how many hours a week is that, right?
You might be working 3 ons, 4 off.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be that. Where does she live? Turns out she lives in Seattle. It's an expensive place,
It is.
right? And I'm just going through this list of things like, what does she spend? When's the last time that she went to Disney? How many times does she eat a week? I'm like, I'm not saying that this person might not deserve sympathy,
Yeah.
but we just don't know. So let's not jump to conclusion. Now,
Well, and that's the trick. Is like 9 out of those things. I mean, it's just misery porn, man. There's so much of it out there right now, and I think I guarantee a good chunk of it is foreign influence baked.
considering people are going to jail for that now,
Yeah,
that's really fucking interesting.
It's
isn't
kind
it?
of come at the light
Yeah.
a little bit. But I mean, like if I'm sitting in Pakistan and I have the Sora or whatever it is too, Suno,
Mm.
and I can generate a lot of fucking views and make a lot of money, by basically putting misery porn out there that speaks to a specific generation. I've seen there's this one, and I guarantee you it's foreign baked. It's actually animated. With these fucking very stylistic characters, and all they do is complain about bosses.
Oh,
and it's
I
like,
haven't seen it, but I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, and it's like, I guarantee you this is fucking, because I mean, there's just like little things about it. It's like, yeah, nobody talks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it could be really appealing for someone who has no actual work experience, and is just like, oh, I can't get called back from a job interview. How many did you put in for? What?
So here's the postscript to that, and that's where people actually started digging, and they just went through this bitch's like TikTok history.
Oh yeah.
She was vacationing in the
Oh
Flint
yeah,
River area
there you
like a
go.
month and a half ago.
With their TikTok bucks, huh?
Well, and this is what I'm saying. Is she's sitting there like complaining that I do these shifts in the OR,
Right.
and to me, I'm like, well, again, I would say this: if the headline is "I'm an RN," that's what you lead with,
Oh yeah,
right?
as a blank.
Correct,
Yeah.
because yeah, and then she's bitching about having to DoorDash, for this other stuff, and some dumb bitch came up there and is like, well, the struggle in Seattle is real, people are having to live it all. I was like, and again, like,
Move.
well, I was like,
Fucking move.
you're the problem.
Yeah, move.
This right here is the
Yeah.
problem. Is you think that every single person deserves to live where they want,
Yep.
have a high paying job,
Yep.
and do the job that they want to at all times.
Yeah, and not have to work 40 hours a week. So
I'm like, if you want to live in Seattle but don't
yeah,
have the job to cover it, you got to work too,
yeah, you got to work too, or you got to move,
or you got to move,
or you got to get a better job.
or you got to take the job that you don't necessarily want to do because that's the one that pays.
That's fine. So yeah, no, it's crazy.
But yeah, when people found out that she was fucking in
The French movie,
France
France.
a month
I
ago,
was in France.
like, I'm sorry, man. I'd say it. These sympathies are
Well, that squealing pig guy, what's his name?
which really
The finance guy.
uh, you're talking about.
Well, the guy who does the audits, financial
Well, there's
audits.
two. There's
I don't know him.
Dave Ramsey
Oh no, Dave Ramsey. He's not a pig. He's great.
and
So
Caleb
Hammer.
Hammer. Yeah,
That's the squealer guy. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't think about him like that, but it's not that far off.
No. He does that all the time. I can't watch him, but I mean, like, that's the thing is he'll actually go through somebody's shit, and he'd be like, "You can't DoorDash 3 fucking meals to your house a day." And it's like, wait a minute, where's all this going? It's like, well, I just use this magic piece of plastic here, and food comes.
Fair. There are this moments, and they've interviewed him about those. Like, is this set up? Is this fake? He's like, no,
No.
no, we couldn't. Like, people sign and they're going to do this other stuff, but there is that moment where again he'll look at a person, and that's the shit that absolutely amazes me because a lot of people are just gonna like before I even had the facts, are like this bitch probably just spends tons and tons. Like I don't know that, right? I don't know that yet. So we jump to that conclusion, but because look, there are people you've known it, I've known it. We've been in that situation where it's like, all right, I got these $2 have to last.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's like, yeah, okay, it's time to go on lockdown for a little bit.
And it's not because you went out there's like, where did the other $400 go? You're like, well, so I needed paint for miniatures, and I'm not going to get this stuff.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. Yeah,
that's just
I
how
got
it
on
goes.
Amazon, and
Right.
like I got to use my Prime account anyway. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I got 3% cash back, so I'm going to actually use this.
We're
So,
making money.
You're
on
not
this.
making
Yeah.
money if you spend $1,000 to get $3.
Right. So there is that component, but when he looks at some of these folks and he says like, so this is your income? Like, yeah. I'm like, you bring in $12,000 a month.
Dude, it's like it's mind blowing how much money some people make. And it's just like, oh my god, that's a fucking fortune. What the hell?
And then they just ask a general question of like, how much do you think you spend a month?
Yeah,
and then
they're off by an order of magnitude. Yeah, I don't know, $500.
Higher.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, there is again, you and I have worked with these people. We've worked jobs that put fucking cash in your pockets, and we've seen dudes where it's like, well, okay, so by day one of the month, right? I have spent $20,000 because I went to the house, the truck, the boat, this, and this, right? It's like, when do you actually turn a profit? By what day of the month do you actually go positive? It's like, I don't know if I do.
I don't know if I do. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people live upside down without realizing it. His show is good because when they do those audits, they find that there's a lot of things that people spend a lot of money on that are embarrassing. So,
Yeah.
like he finds a lot of people on there smoke a shitload of weed.
Or the people they come across where it's like, you have spent fucking $7,000 on OnlyFans, dude.
Yeah, yep. Oh no, these and gambling, online gambling. They find that one all the time.
Bro,
So
I
on
think
there.
that is we went through like an opioid epidemic. I think that's coming to a close. I think our next public war will be on gambling.
Yeah,
I think a
it might
lot of
be.
people there are going to be there's going to be a scourge of given how look I've mentioned this here. You guys, you talk
You know,
about
they're
me
going
like
to be
a
able to advertise it in public. Yeah,
bro. Again,
maybe.
coming from when I went, and you guys always look at me. It's like, when did you like you were chiseled out of a glacier? Where it's like, and I'll sit there and see like they're advertising gambling.
Gambling.
People
Oh
are
my god.
talking about this in public. This sort of thing. But I think there's something to be said about. I think a lot of people are going to get fucking rung up by this really badly.
Well, I know people are getting rung up by it as is. I mean, and the thing is like there's actually a theory going on, right? Why crypto's been pretty flat for like the last 3 years.
Because they legalized
Is because
gambling,
they all went to gambling, legalized gambling.
legalized
It
gambling
was
into
actually scratching the
speculation
same fucking
markets.
itch. Yeah. So
Well, I got to tell you, that was the funny thing. Was when I was in California. I was talking to these people and I was talking to them about
yeah.
gambling. I was like, "Hey, look, don't you're I'm mentioning this and you've got this look on your face like I'm talking about degenerates." And I was like, you and all of your friends do this too. You just do it under a different form. It's like you are like your job is investment banking.
Oh
Gambling
yeah,
is what
that's
you
gambling. Yeah,
do,
yeah, yeah,
right? That's the entirety of what you
yeah.
do. And so all of your friends who are sitting there saying like, because remember, if you go to the conventional wisdom, right, where I'm trying to remember the exact phraseology of this was like, the quickest way to double your money is to fold it in half one time and put it back in your
Oh yeah,
pocket,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I think that's one of them. But anything that's not taking money, putting it in a high yield IRA or whatever it is, guaranteed money, right?
Yeah, that's a form of gambling. I mean, investing is a little bit different. Um,
It is.
you
It
know,
depends on how you do it.
exactly. So, so if you're going out and if you're like an investment banker and you're looking for startups that aren't even on the market yet, and you're going to put a big put on them, in order to get like some kind of equity out of it and then an eventual cash out round. That's fucking gambling. Okay.
Absolutely, it is as
If you have a
degenerate.
401k that you send 10% of your income to every single month, okay,
Yeah,
and you just do that automatically so you don't spend the money, that's investing.
that's investing. Look, and again, there's investing in between there that's sort of like, yeah, I'm going to put this in this business because I believe in it or whatever or something like
Yeah,
that, the
sure.
kind of thing. But the whole thing, you and I both know that when it comes to like investment banking or stuff, like a lot of not necessarily just the banking, but a lot of that sort of thing is, yeah, you're going to eventually get to a point where here's the logic for, here's the logic against.
Yeah.
I have to make a gut call on this.
Yep.
And that's the heart of what gambling is, right?
Yeah.
You leave something up to the fates after you've sort of put the
Yeah.
pros
After
and
you've
cons of
kind of
both
worked through
sides,
it. Yeah.
right? You're
Yeah.
aware of the odds and you're saying,
Hmm.
and especially when you do enough of this where you say, well, I have to make this a business. So I'm going to invest 10, 20, or 30% in something that is a little bit more secure. I still could lose, but it's very unlikely that I
It's
will.
unlikely. Yeah.
But I'm going to try and offset the stuff that I really take risks on because I know some of these are going to lose, but some of these will be big hits if they do hit.
Yeah.
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 Just gambling.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's no different than playing roulette, just playing a smart, no, not playing the table smartly,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's a little bit different because it's not a zero sum like roulette is. So if somebody wins, somebody else loses. So in that,
But that's true. Well, that's not to say that only one person can gamble on one thing.
yeah, that's true.
That's
Yeah,
so. But
that's
yeah,
true.
you're right.
Yeah,
You're
but
right.
I mean, a loss is a distinct loss. So yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
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 So no, it is. It is. It's remarkably similar in some ways, but anyway, that's where a lot of. I don't know where I was reading that a little while ago, but it had to do with gambling and the fact that a lot of people weren't actually putting money into crypto because they had just discovered sports gambling over the last year,
Or
and the
speculation
same thing
markets.
true,
Yeah.
speculation. Yeah, 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 yeah. What is it? what is that? I see them advertised all the
Oh,
time.
Calfee and Polymarket. Yeah,
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 Polymarket.
yeah.
So, and it's like, well, that's actually scratching that itch for most people. I was like, that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
got it. And I think we have gotten to the point in time where crypto in particular is probably none of it's going to go bananas again like it used to. I think it might have been worked out of the system. So, you know, we'll see.
It's
But like meme
mm,
coins are not they don't occupy a tenth of the news that they used to.
no,
So yeah,
no.
you know,
I imagine that, like all things, it's going to come in waves. I think there's
it
going to be
might.
a time when people hop on board it and hop off it, but I don't think it'll be. Um, well, I mean, but it's
It
hard for
might.
me
You
to
never
say
know.
that because there's still a hell of a lot of volume in it. So
There is a lot of money in it.
it's hard for me to back off and say, well, if this were
I just don't think it's going to be as volatile as it used to be. I think it's gotten to the point in time where the people who are in it, they're in it. And the
right,
people who are going
right,
to dabble in it, they've decided to do something else.
you're talking
So
about when it takes the normies off the benches and into the game.
I
Yeah,
think there's a lot of normies in it now. So
yeah.
yeah. And I think the crazies are betting on like, you know, so
Primaries.
primaries. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
or
Yeah,
the Knicks. I mean,
or the
it's
Knicks.
really
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. So I've been watching the ads coming out of LA. Have you been seeing those?
for mayor.
It's the man.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
talk about somebody who's enlisted in the AI army to actually help him. So they're fucking hilarious.
Bro, I kid
They're
you not.
so
I
good.
think I
Yeah, that's going to happen. I mean, you can see it already in 2028. There are going to be so many ads out there that are not originated by the fucking campaigns. So, because you can just make this shit and post it up on TikTok.
that's fine.
I
I mean,
it's going to be hilarious, dude. Nobody's going to know it's fucking real for a little while.
bro, I remember decades ago. I remember watching something on ABC where they were talking about the this is when they had I don't want to say they'd mastered the technology, but they were absolutely dreading. There's like this new aspect of technology is going to be extremely problematic for political
Mhm.
advertisements because, and you could probably remember this because there were about, I don't know, 2 years where this was really popular, was whatever video editing software they'd come across
Oh, yeah.
where they can take, well, this is George Washington and he's going to morph into Hitler, right?
Oh, yeah.
They had this thing where they thought this was the new highness,
So it's
and
a weird crossfade kind of thing. Yeah.
it wasn't even a fade. It was just basically like, here's picture, here's destination picture, and all it would do is just
Oh,
basically,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I know
And
exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, and for like 2 3 years, it was a big thing that they were doing in TV and movies and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And they were talking about how this was extremely dangerous and how this could lead to blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. Look, we are where we are, and the whole point of that venture back then is, if you were trusting this at face value, you were messed up to
Yeah,
begin with.
yeah, you're the chop.
Just because it's easier doesn't mean that you should be putting your faith in this.
Yeah, no, and I mean, so like I remember, I think probably like a year or two ago, even on the podcast, we were probably talking about people being, fucking spoofed by fake, AI face, camera, blah blah
Yeah,
blah. We skipped right over that, dude. Where all of a sudden now
yeah.
we're so fucking there that if there actually is a video out there of Donald Trump shooting somebody on Fifth Avenue, everybody's gonna say, "Ah, it's fake as shit."
Well, so there's a series of problems that go with it here, and we should have thought of this from the beginning. Is okay. So if Donald Trump put bullets in somebody on Fifth Avenue, right?
Mm.
The first thing is going to be, all right. So that's cool. Let's just check this for extra fingers. Okay, so let's say everybody maps out. Let's say nothing morphs through. Everything maintains its physical consistency. Let's actually say that happened. So then the second question would be, does this exist from another angle that we
Yeah,
can
can I go to
verify?
the local New York news and see? Yeah,
Right,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
And you look at this and you say, like, well, no, because the guy in the second row there, right? He's
Right.
very much wearing a Van Halen T-shirt. This is just a crowd of nobodies here.
Right.
So we don't have any kind of verification on this. There's no version of this thus far where people, and again, if it does get to that point, people still aren't going to trust it. They're going to believe what they want to believe anyway,
Yeah.
right? I mean, this is sort of a weird thing, and I will say, having watched, I would not be surprised. I don't know if I'd put straight money on it here, but I think there's a pretty decent chance that Spencer Pratt actually wins that election.
I don't know enough about how that town works, to like call that. So it's just fun to watch. I'm not going to call that because I,
I'm
I
not going to
I
call
don't
it
know how
either
that town works, man. But
because the people ultimately have to make their choices. But
yeah,
what I will say here
the
is,
Lego one is brilliant.
bro, I guess, I
It's
guess,
just, it's got poo in the street everywhere. So,
it's making.
little girl,
I know the,
dog. I know that came from a dog.
yeah,
Yeah, it's so good.
but I know people think this. That's the thing here is that's a lot of the sentiment. I mean, again, it's weird. Again, I was just in California,
Yeah,
Pat. There
yeah,
is an
yeah,
undercurrent of people who are just straight up like, this place disgusts me.
yeah. There's a lot of people who are frustrated with it. But we've known that for years, man.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
well,
we had that guy, what is it, Peter, whatever, the bald guy who spent that day in like San Francisco.
oh
Like
yeah,
this
yeah,
was like
yeah,
right during COVID,
yeah,
so shit, that's been 6 years now.
yeah.
Um, and then he went back like 2 years later, and there was a guy selling Trump merch right in the middle of town, and he had a fucking line.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and
Yeah.
certain things where, uh, again, just watching the things that have been popping off in terms of, again, it is wild for me to now have seen people being arrested, being sentenced
Yeah.
for collusion with China, right?
Oh, what's this?
You didn't see about the
Maybe I
the
don't
the
know.
mayor in California?
No,
Okay.
which one?
I can't remember what city it is, but
Oh no, I did see. I heard that on radio, of
yeah,
all things.
yeah,
Yeah, so she was actually a CCP agent. So
correct.
it wasn't that big of a town, though, but it was kind of weird. So
But this is the problem:
yeah,
is if they got you,
yeah,
there are others, and there are people being ferreted out in this, and that's the. It's not that I'm sitting here saying like the CCP is everywhere. They are in a way, but it's in the same way that Russians were everywhere in the United
yeah.
States. It
That
does.
you don't have much to fear from that, man.
I
So
don't have much to fear from
yeah.
it, but to me, like the big thing is you're being found.
Oh yeah,
This is what I'm driving at here is so like we used to talk about the stuff that's happening in uh, Minnesota. People are getting it now.
yeah.
People
They're
are getting
good. Yeah, I mean that's even going on here a little bit. I mean Colorado's always the last state to the fucking party for some reason.
so
It's just
yeah.
always are, man.
Well, there was one really interesting thing I wanted your take on,
Hmm.
and this comes from our governor.
Okay.
Uh, Polis commuted the sentence of
Yeah,
Tina Peters.
yeah.
Why?
It was just a harsh sentence. So he had talked about it before. So I mean, when that thing actually happened, he was kind of like, I don't think that's quite right. And so he's been signaling for a while that he was going to do this.
Now, I
So,
presume that there are other people that were basically against this.
oh yeah, of course, all the people who don't get to vote for him again, because he's term limited, so he doesn't give a shit. You know, yeah, well, like her whole case was weird in some respects. She is bona fide fucking nuts. So I
No
get it.
doubt.
Yeah, no, she there's like just listening to some of the things because I remember when that thing was going on because this way out of Grand Junction, if I'm not mistaken. When some of the things she was saying, it was like, whoa, man. you know, it's, it's like I know how you won your primary. So, but then the whole thing with like I don't know. I don't know if I really want to get into this because I haven't thought about it in a long time or really looked into it. But like the whole like voter fraud mail-in ballot thing. For some reason here in Colorado, we've got it figured out. Okay, so there is no voter fraud in Colorado. So at least none that's been demonstrated on any level that actually matters. So,
Well, that was part of the problem was that she was
she was
claiming to have
tampering
it.
with shit. Yeah. So, but then they found out that some of the stuff that she was claiming was actually not that. It was, the fact that she had actually changed some of the rules up there and blah, blah, blah. And so she got pinched by the law because if you actually do get caught tampering with ballots or voter election results in some ways, the penalties are fucking brutal. So, and so she got her fingers caught in the machine there. And Polis had said something about that. It's like, well, this is obviously somewhat politically motivated. She's convicted in a jurisdiction that doesn't have her best heart interest in mind, blah, 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 stuff like that. And so I wasn't surprised that he actually pulled the trigger on that because he's been kind of like throwing up smoke signals about that for a couple months. So,
All right,
I mean, he got
it
into a
seemed
little bit of a tiff with Donald Trump over it because Trump got his fingers involved in that
yeah.
somehow, and I don't know why. So, I mean, it's the middle of fucking nowhere in Colorado. So, I don't know why, man. So, I don't know what show it was on. I don't know if it wound up on Hannity or something. And it got on his radar somehow, but whatever.
He's got.
But then,
Uh,
like, there was a lot of people on the Democrat side who were like, kind of like seeing, oh, is Jared Polis going to run? Is he going to fight Donald Trump? And the answer to that was always fucking no.
yeah.
So, because Jared Polis don't give two shits. So he's done. So he's like, I've done my tour of duty. I'm going to go back to being a rich guy. So, because he was in Congress for what, like 15 years?
Something
Something
like
like
that.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like
So,
that.
yeah. And so he's like, nah, I'm good. So, and I mean, and he's a Jew and he's in the fucking Democratic Party right now. So,
Yeah. Me personally, there's no version of this where if I were one of the tribe, there's no part of me that wouldn't be like, fuck you guys.
dude, but that's the funny thing is if you actually take a look at the pool of people that they talk about who are going to be running for president, half of them are fucking Jewish. So, I mean, J.B. Pritzker out of Illinois and fucking
He could run, but I mean that
he's
means
got the
nothing.
money to run. He
The,
ain't got the tight. He's probably about three pills too large, but whatever.
well,
Yeah.
that's the thing is you can have the money to run, and yes, fat retard will be what shows up on the ballot. But
Dude, it's
sorry,
fine, man.
man,
It's his
that's
fucking
not.
money. If he wants to blow it, that's fine by me. I don't care.
And yes, I've heard stories
So
about Josh Shapiro
Josh
running, and
Shapiro is
I,
another
I
one.
do
There's
not.
another guy out of like I can't remember where he is, but he's also Jewish. Um, I can't remember where he is, but so anyway, there's like and Bernie Sanders. So
I
there
thought
are
he was
there
done.
are fucking people out there who are saying he is back, baby. So and it's kind of like, come on, really? So there are people out there who are starting to call that because they call it the Bernie lane, and they say, well, if AOC doesn't fill it, then it's going to be either go to some fucking weirdo or maybe Bernie himself will actually, cut in traffic there and try and take another stab at it. So, and it's just like, okay, you guys, that's 2 years away. We got a whole war to fucking work through here, you know. So, it's going to be a very different world in 2 years than it is right now, just based upon like just some of the shit that's going on out there, man. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of dust that needs to settle.
there is a lot of dust that needs
We
to
don't
settle.
know what to run on yet because we have no idea what the results are yet.
No, we have no idea, man. So, and I see like every headline that I see on my MSN homepage now is "Stupid president does stupid things
Oh
stupidly."
yeah,
It's hilarious, dude.
it's fucking
It's
goddamn.
like this is so bad, man. Is everything is bad and dumb and stupid and gonna go to hell and yada yada yada, and we're all gonna be proved right in the long run. I'm like, no, you're not, man. Just sit tight, bro. I mean, the guy he actually does know what he's doing in some of this stuff. I mean, you can just see the Iranians squeal right now. So, they are they are squealing, man.
Yeah, you and I talked about it here, where he can do everything but reveal his strategy.
Well,
Although an
I
outsider
think
can
it's
look at
pretty
this
easy to
and
figure out a strategy,
yeah, but he
man.
hasn't said it. That's the thing
Yeah,
is
he's not going to say it because then he just turns around and the press will. Well, and then the other thing is like if you say what it is that you're doing, you present that like your opponent with like a solution.
correct.
And he's
Correct.
like, well, no, we can still talk, but they got to talk for real, not this bullshit they send me in the middle of the night through Pakistan. And he says, I didn't even get past the first line of it. And I read the thing, and I was like, I wouldn't get past the first line either. Because it was stupid president does a stupid thing stupidly. Well, So, but anyway, I mean, it's obvious how bad it is. I mean, like there's a great story going on right now, and the press isn't saying shit about it because they can't make sense of it. So, what the Iranians are actually dumping tons of oil into the fucking sea. Okay.
Why?
Because it's full. Because shit is full. And so they're dumping tons and tons and tons of it into the sea. And if you get online, you can find, fucking pictures of this. It's horrifying. Okay. This is like Exxon Valdez kind of shit. Okay. Why aren't we reporting on that?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Fucking Iranians cause environmental disaster because they refuse to yield to stupid president. It does stupid things stupidly.
Hey, but look, ultimately here. So here's the. When it comes down to what was the, or at least the medium point or getting toward endgame of this year, well, I can tell you what it is. It's the meeting that he just had where he brought all of the American bigwigs over to China.
Yeah.
Because ultimately...
Oh, and nobody could say anything nice about that either. It was crazy. So it was just the China guys. So on Friday, who were kind of like, okay, so, like, let's show you how petty the CCP is on stuff. And this is why they're trying to score small victories on certain things. And the press is like, well, the president gets his shit, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, did you guys read it? Did you see the same thing that I did? Where this comes back and he says, oh, okay, so, China's not going to, like, tell us not to do what we're doing in Iran. Got it.
Right. As a matter of fact, what did they say?
They said we're cool with that.
It's not just that they're cool with it.
Yeah.
They added another part to that.
Yeah, there should be no tolls and blah, blah, blah. And
they also said...
We're not going to say.
Can we help you?
Yes, and we said no. We got it. So,
but it's cool of you to offer.
Yeah, thanks for offering. Yeah, nobody reported that, man. You had to actually go to the, like, I mean, well, I'm not on the Twitter, but there are places you can go on the internet where it's like, tell me what's actually going on. And it was like, okay, so it's just no wins, all right, and so this is going to absolutely blow up in their face again. So.
Yeah, and it deserves
because Iran's going to come back. Because I mean, it's hilarious. The other thing that's going on right now that nobody's talking about is fucking Cuba is basically going to hog tie Raul fucking Castro and ship him to Miami. And say, all right, we're done with this communism thing, man. That's yes, like it could be weeks away, And
bro, did you see what they tried to run with as far as their story?
No.
So as of this was either this morning or yesterday night, I can't remember here, but the rumor that they were going with and basically reporting on this is what's next is basically saying that Cuba had purchased 300 military drones upon which to start brutalizing the American Navy. Now,
good fucking luck with 300. Come on, man.
Well, so there's two components of this, right? So there was no verification of this.
Yeah, of course.
Right? That's the first part. The second part is with what gas. The third part is with what electricity.
right. Yeah.
This is the problem. Is like I understand
there's no U.S. Navy down there anyway.
Pat, this is what I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to blow up fucking drug boats in Miami? Cool.
Help yourself.
Help yourself.
Here's the thing. We didn't say that we can be the only ones blowing them up.
No.
If you want to blow them up, blow them up.
Blow them up. How about it?
Matter of fact, I can tell you, every time I see one of those videos of dudes blowing them up, it sounds like they're having a great time.
Yeah, but I mean, and I mean, there's actually reporters in Havana. You can find them, and some of the stuff that's coming out is like, so like everybody's got their car parked, and nothing's moving, and blah blah blah. You don't see any of that in any of the top line press, and it's like, come on, man. I mean, how long can a country go like that? Not long, okay. Before everybody's like, fuck this, and fuck you, and And I mean, that's what's going on in Iran. You can't find that much information because they ain't no internet, in Iran, but I mean, there are things where it's just like patently apparent. Like they were talking, I think it was the Times or somebody, or it might have been the Washington Post last week, said that the Pentagon or the CIA did an analysis where we didn't destroy any of their missile infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. It was like, well, that's funny because they haven't been shooting them. And it's like, what do you think?
Okay, stupid fucking thing. Yeah.
You're gonna tell me that they wouldn't be popping them off left and right if they couldn't? Of course they would. We just have to look at Russia and Ukraine.
Bro,
So we're basically it comes off the assembly line, you charge it for 10 minutes, and then you throw it at the other guys. you know?
I think they think it's just on cooldown or fucking respawn timers because whereas it's
Right?
kind of
Yeah.
like you don't have to like if you kill a thing, it's okay because the monster house will spawn more,
Oh yeah.
right? And missiles just shoot from there.
Yeah. We got a monster spawner. Yeah. No, and that's exactly it. And of course, and here we are. It's like, all right, so are they raining missiles down on Israel? No.
Nope,
Are they doing it on UAE? Nope.
nope,
Are they doing it on Saudi? Nope.
nope.
It's like, so do they have any missiles left? Oh yeah, they have them all still.
We haven't done shit,
We haven't
guys.
done shit, guys. Yeah, no, and it's like, really? And I mean, that's the other thing. You can go, and I mean, you just dig a little bit and, look at the Iranian Navy. They actually have a Wikipedia page. It's hilarious because it's just like sunk, 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 sunk.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
It's like, all right, so this is fine. And then there was another story the other day that was like, oh, they grabbed this ship that was full of weapons, blah, blah, blah. So, kind of thing. And it was like, well, that's interesting. Let me go check that out. You just dig just a little bit, you find out that this is a boat that basically picks up a security detail and puts it on the ship because they can't do it in the ports. So these
Oh,
are the guys that shoot pirates.
oh,
And it was like,
oh.
oh my God, they got a ship full of weapons. It's like, I think the Iranians have plenty of AK-47s, man. So I wouldn't worry about this too much. But you guys made it sound out like they fucking made off with the Navy fucking ammo ship and they're going to start shooting tomahawks back at us.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. This when it comes down to it, uh, there was a time. Okay, there was a time when essentially mainstream media they had a choice. They had a choice and said, we can course correct or we can double down.
They doubled
And
down.
they
They
doubled
totally
and
doubled down,
tripled,
man.
and they have
Dude,
signed their own death warrant.
there was that guy. Who's the guy in the New York Times last week? He wrote that thing about like Israeli prisons and just caused a fucking shitstorm because everybody's like, you made this up.
Are you talking about the same guy who said that Israelis were training dogs to
Yeah,
rape?
that's the same guy. Yeah.
Yes,
It
yes.
was just like such a ridiculous article, and like, oh well, it's important to tell the truth, blah blah blah. It's like, all right, where'd you get that from?
Black.
Name names, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, sources on the inside. It's like, shut the fuck up and start naming names, dude. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
and it was crazy. I mean that hit like middle of the week, and there's just a little piece of Podcastistan that I live in. That if you talk shit about Jews, it hits that wire there. And that it comes from
Yeah,
multiple
yeah,
directions, man.
yeah.
So, and it was just like, all right, that's interesting. But then I had to go check out the article, and it was horrifyingly stupid. So it was like, no. It
Oh yeah, yeah.
was like, I mean, it was all about Gaza too. And I mean, that's fucking, that's not even yesterday's news. That's like last month's news, man.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, it was like, oh, so the Israelis decided to occupy half of it and turn it into Disneyland, and now we don't hear about it every single day. Interesting. So it's like, wait a minute, where's this mass wave of starvation that's going on? Oh, never mind. I can get on Google Earth and look at the fucking tent cities that the Israelis have built. It's like it's there. You can look at pictures of it, and it's like, huh, doesn't look like a genocide to me, buddy.
No, it was not.
It's interesting. Usually you don't house them before you gas them. So,
Well, at the very least, you make them work for you first.
right?
I
Yeah,
don't. I mean, that's the thing is,
work will set you free, right?
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I don't see. Again, that's that whole thing of like, well, I don't. I've looked on Google Earth. They can't block it from here.
Can't block it.
There's no fucking parasol
Yeah.
on top of the balcony here. Where what's his butt is over here with his like suspenders and his rifle, just like randomly shooting dudes in the camp. I mean, this is not.
Oh yeah, that movie. Yeah,
Didn't happen. I
didn't
mean, it didn't
happen.
happen.
Yeah.
Again, it's you're either not genociding or you are the worst at it. Because when you have people
Oh yeah.
in
No, it's patently apparent, but the press went leaned in hard on it, and and to be fair, it's that whole like wing of the right side of things too. It's just
oh yeah,
fucking
yeah,
Israel bad. We shouldn't give them a nickel. Blah blah blah. It was like, okay, fine, don't. That's not your argument though, because if we did it, you'd probably find something else to bitch about,
well,
wouldn't you?
here's the thing:
Yeah.
is you all have you guys are coming at it from different sides here. The writings that you're doing and the angles that you're taking, you're talking about a point of hurt or anger or disgust
Something.
that comes from not the current conflict. So if what you want to talk about is, you know, I think it's weird and I think it's wrong because when I thought about what I could accomplish in my life if all of my loans were interest free,
Oh yeah.
that would
Okay.
be a different story, right?
That's an
So
interesting take on that.
that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
you want to write about the lizard people because you have thought these people were lizards for a long time. Okay?
Right.
So you're taking whatever news and filtering it through lizards. On the other side here, right? For those who didn't see, Pat
Squeezing the
squeezes
lizard. Yeah.
Pat he just flung the lizard juice out with his right hand. So it's that angle, and then you have the other side here where it's well, in any two dynamics of people between each other, there must be one who is an oppressor and one who is oppressed. And since we have decided that the oppressed one are the Gazans in this case, that means that the Israelis have now become 24 and a half compressed mega Hitlers and are doing this at full stop. That's because there's you've criticized me in the past before for saying like, well, Jeffrey, there are several shades of colors between absolute black and absolute white. And after I don't know,
You mean blank and full?
yeah, after I don't know 24 years of taking my lumps on this, I was like, wow, you're right. But these are the people writing this shit are adults older than me and more experienced and theoretically more educated.
You know what? You really touched on something there that is really insightful, and I hadn't really thought about it before.
Yeah.
But that whole idea of oppressed and oppressor,
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
absolutely
That's it.
explains fucking Candace Owens.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you're
100%.
totally
Yeah.
right, man.
Oh
That is
yeah.
exactly what that is.
Take it to wherever it goes. So again,
I hadn't thought about that before, but you're just swapping out different oppressors. So, but it's all about power games and the fact that you ain't got none.
if somebody is in the oppressed class, they are 100% right, and the quote unquote oppressor class is, regardless of what they do, is always 100%
Yeah, so
wrong.
they think that the oppressed in this case is American working Joes or whatever, and the oppressor
Depending
is
on who you're coming from.
capitalist,
Yes,
fucking
yes,
Jews.
yes.
That makes perfect sense, and that is actually a really good way to tie those two. I mean that's a better jumper cable than mine because I was thinking that it was like America bad.
Oh no, well, again, it can be
Yeah,
because if you,
but I think yours is more
it's just when you sit there and you just reduce the fractions enough to get to where
right.
you are, that's what it is,
Yeah,
right? So when you look at groups and you sit there and say like, well, wait a second, okay, how can it's the way that you hand wave all this bullshit that happens. So when you go back to the arena, what is it, Zatruska case? It's like you see people apologizing for the dude that just fucking stabs this little Ukrainian girl on the bus, right? Because like
that's insane, dude.
because they're like, well, this person comes from an oppressed class, ergo that makes this is
Yeah.
not this person's fault. You're like,
Let alone someone who had to run away from their country because they're getting bombed by their fucking neighbors. So I know. So
I mean,
it was like, oh, but she's pretty and white. It was like, why does that matter?
this
Yeah, I think the bombing of my homeland and like killing my family probably matters a little bit more, but
pretty
apparently
much,
not.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's that's so if you have to put these things into, and again, it's that same kind of fucking gish gallop where you're just doing that thing where it's like, well, so if you say that you don't support these things, but you voted for this guy, and this guy is in this party, and this party contains
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
person,
yeah.
and because this person hasn't officially sanctioned this,
Right.
you are a racist.
You are racist, yeah. So you're literally taking the red string and okay, I got you, man.
And for a while, and that's the thing is, for a while there, a good, I would say 10, 15 years, that worked as a strategy because people were afraid of that label. It's like, well, I don't know what you've seen as that.
Yeah, people aren't afraid of the labels anymore,
Well,
man.
what are you
I
gonna
mean,
do?
some people are in
Yeah,
some respects, but there's also like it's just like really okay, fine. You think I'm a racist? Prove it. So
right,
tell me
right,
what's going on in my own head, please.
right.
And then when you say that, it is as ridiculous as it sounds. So,
Well, and again, that's the funny thing. That's why I had that picture on my phone um, of Trump with Jesse Jackson and winning all those black awards. So when that comes up, it's always the question of like, so
It's like having a yearbook photo, It's like
well,
I used to have hair, man.
well, that's the thing is I always ask to explain is when they say this, I'm like, okay, so when I show you this picture, it's like yes, and I show you these awards that he's done and how many awards he's been given by this community. It's like yes, I'm like, so was that a long con? Was it that
He
he's
did that way back
hated
then.
these
Yeah,
people for
yeah,
so
yeah,
long that he thought he'd infiltrate all of these groups,
yeah,
right? Is that what's happening?
yeah.
And there's never a good answer for it because
No,
some
it's just
people,
I hate the stupid president does stupid things stupidly, And so there's no giving. Look, man, I know some people who are like this who just refuse, and it's just it. I mean, I'm not even going to call it TDS. I don't know if that really what it is. It's just it's more so along the lines. It's like I mean, I got to the point in time. I don't like the guy. I think he's a piece of shit in many ways, but I'm tired of being wrong about him.
people can be two things at
People
one
can be
time.
two things at one time. Yes, exactly.
Right.
So, you could be a perfectly functional alcoholic. So these things do actually exist, they're out there in the real world. But the other thing is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
that's a
just
really good point. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
there's just it's like no, man, I refuse to give him any credit because like the last thing you want to do, and this is what I think it is you don't want to be that person in some respects, who is like, all right, so we've only got 2 years left on this, hoorah! So I'm just going to ride it out, because the last thing that I want to do is turn and say, oh, Donald Trump did something good, and then have to explain that to my other voting friends in 2 years,
Right,
kind of
right.
thing. And I think that's kind of what it is. I think that's where the press is on this Iran thing. Um, you know, I don't even think that they really have it out for the Republicans because they've been fawning over Marco Rubio lately, which is fine.
Marco Rubio deserves to be fawned
He
over.
kind of does, man. You see him in his fucking tracksuit.
I loved seeing him in his track.
He said he had it before we gave it to him.
Like that's the closest thing he's been able to do to relax.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they joke about it all the time. Every time they show that picture of him on the couch and they put him in a fucking in like overalls, he's like, I'm the secretary of like agriculture
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
I see
Like they
that.
do this all the time because the dude is taking on so much responsibility
Well, I
and
mean,
he's being an absolute like charmer about it. I
the
totally
other thing
respect
is
that.
that he's done a good job of demonstrating that a lot of those jobs are fucking bullshit. Okay,
I think
you don't need to do. You don't need to have a staff of fucking 20 people. In some of these jobs. And she's like, well, if Henry Kissinger could be the Secretary of State in the NSA, that's just the same meeting. Why don't I go to it once a day? Rather than twice a day. I think he's showed that. And Donald Trump's done the same thing too by like the intelligence, like George W. Bush and Barack Obama, they had their intelligence briefing, the president, the PDB, President's Daily Brief, every day at like fucking 700, blah, blah, blah. And Donald Trump's like, I'll see you on Friday. Okay. So, and in the meantime, if I have any questions, I'll have a guy call. You know, so and he really did a good job. I mean, and I mean, okay, I know you really like Tulsi Gabbard, but what the fuck does she do? Because he basically just uses her to block and
it's weird.
wrangle all those intelligence agencies.
But that could be the job.
It could be the
But I
job,
don't know.
but it
I
might
don't
not
know.
be. It might actually be bullshit, Jeff.
It's hard for me
These
to say.
people might actually be full of.
Okay. Again, I hate to keep coming back to this, but it was true then and it's true
It
now.
might be, yeah.
What I can say here is when Elon Musk bought Twitter,
Right.
he saw
Right.
everybody, he saw, wow, 75% of you are working in adult daycare.
Yeah.
Fired them all.
Fired them all.
There's just as much Twitter as there was.
You don't see any less Twitter. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
No.
I get there are people that said like, oh well, this seems like super fascist. I'm not going to advertise anymore. He said, go fuck yourself, right? Like that's the right attitude. And Twitter is just as present as it was before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you're right. There wasn't suddenly a Twitter shortage.
there was not. And there wasn't bread lines for it. There wasn't like. There wasn't. And yeah, I imagine again. This is where Will and I got into it a little bit because of his lady friend. And again, I was like, hey, just I'm not doubting you. I want to know where she's getting this information from, right? And that's fine if she has it. I want to know. but there's that thing where she's saying it's like, oh, but because of the Doge cuts, I'm like, which ones?
Yeah, there's a
Where are
lot.
you getting this from? Where is this? Like, I know that you're saying that she said it. Why is she saying it? Because you're saying like, well, they said, well, these are the numbers, those are the numbers, and you have to get this. I'm like, but what is that based on? Right. And again, I'm not saying that she's
What did
wrong.
she do? What did she do again? What was it? Something that had medical, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. She's very, and I don't want to give too much away. That's
No,
fine.
no, that's fine.
But
Don't worry about it. I think
she's
it just like medical, right?
yeah,
Okay, we're
yeah.
good.
And so the argument
So,
was, there are things that there are cuts going in here and saying like, well, where is this money going,
yeah,
right? Or where is this? And this is what you had to adhere to. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Why are they saying those numbers, and why are you saying that those numbers are different? Again, it's not that I
yeah,
doubt you, but I'm hearing it third hand,
yeah. I want to find out.
all
Yeah,
right? And so if there's a,
I'm gonna be
but
blunt, man. Doge like definitely wrecked a lot of shit that we have going on. So, and it's bad. So, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that got cut that was good. So, okay, fine, we'll figure it out. It just makes things way fucking harder. And it is what it is. So, but the people who like use it as a political stick now, it's like, well, that ship's already sailed, man. What the fuck are we gonna do? So, okay, fine. So they burned down the Department of Education. Are we gonna say that's really a bad thing? Probably not. Does that mean we lost a lot of grants? Yeah. But were we in bad shape as much as some of the other schools in the state? No. So, I mean, we'll get through it, you know. But it's also one of those things where that's like the whole thing about Doge is like that's not really the problem. Yeah, I mean,
okay, so
I get it, and it's like you should save anything that you can find. I understand this, okay, but like I mean, when you're going through your budget, okay, and you're underwater, that's when you look at things as like I need to downgrade my house or sell my car, not switch to beans and rice.
you
Yeah.
also can do that. Well, again, this is where the rubber didn't meet the road. Is
Right.
that in theory the whole purpose was to get you to beans and rice, but also start at the top and say
Yeah.
we have to cut these sacred cows too.
Yeah,
The
but
sacred cows just have way too many fucking,
it's Congress, man.
way too many people
You
gatekeeping
have
that.
to do it with Congress, and that's the whole thing. You can't end around that with an executive, fucking budget cutter. So because ultimately it comes down to those people who you'll have to get a 60 vote majority on anything like that. So, and I'm sorry, I get it. People are like, "Oh, that's never going to happen." It's like, well, fucking get to work, okay? Because there's only one way to get this train through the
Right,
station, okay?
right.
And if we're wasting time doing this and not doing that, all right,
Yeah,
then all of this is not going to fucking matter because the train still ain't moving.
that's you're
You
exactly right.
know?
And you know what? It's the Grand Canyon all over again.
It
It's
is.
like, don't
Yeah.
tell me that's impossible, right?
Right.
Just because you're not doing it doesn't mean that it's impossible. As a
Correct.
matter of fact, by merit of you not doing it means you don't want to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and the same thing's true with like any kind of it is getting point in time. We're gonna have midterms here pretty soon. In fact, I think they already had a couple primaries either today or yesterday.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's midterms. It doesn't matter. And I don't think Donald Trump cares either. I don't think he gives a shit about any of the midterms. So,
Doesn't talk about it.
no, 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 not really. So,
That dude has looked at his Tumblr and said, "Not my problem."
not my
He's just straight up like,
But anyway, I mean, we are getting to that point in time where it's the election season is going to come up, and there's going to be a lot of like, oh yeah, like this is the year and this is blah blah. And I mean, just I've gone through enough of these now to realize that like in order to actually get the changes that you really want out of it, you have to spend a lot more time actually convincing other people that you're right rather than like fucking marching around and stuff like that. They're different things, man. Yeah.
allow me to. Okay, so again, um, this is where people again, it's that glorification of things gone by, the glorification of this is when people took a stand and all this other stuff. So again, I brought this up in the past. I'm going to bring it up right now. We're all familiar with the Kent State incident in
Yes,
Ohio,
we,
right?
we we know that. Yeah.
We do, and we all see this, because Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young wrote a song about it
Yep.
and made some money off of it. People think that this was a moment that was instrumental in changing and how important it was that these people stood up. The end result, Nixon won. And
Because crazy broke out in 1969. Yes, or
and did he
1968.
win littly?
Oh no, bigly.
Correct. So this sort of like this posthumous thing of or this, I don't want to say posthumous because I don't want to say they're all dead or whatever, but uh this manufactured reality of this being this turning point of when people change. So it's like, no, that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. What happened is people don't like this shit, especially when they look at this and say, like, oh, okay, well, I'm American. I support your right to go ahead and speak out. What are you speaking out against?
Yeah, America.
Well, and you listen to some bitch or some dumb guy sit there fucking like some dumb asshole. It's like, about Gaza. It's like, hey, no problem. Can you show me on a map where Gaza is?
Oh yeah,
Why
yeah.
does that
Exactly.
matter?
What
Like,
does it matter? I
because
just saying,
just I'm asking. I'm asking. Okay, so you guys are assholes. Tell me what you support because I'm going to vote against that.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'm gonna cancel your vote out, dude.
Step number two. Best way to say like, oh, we're making a difference. Like, don't ever try to make a difference by blocking traffic. You just lost big time. If I miss 1 minute of work, or
Yeah,
if I'm trying to whatever because you're blocking traffic, congratulations,
yeah.
you just sent that away. Damaging
Or
notice.
shooting a guy. Come on,
Or
man.
shooting a guy.
Dude, that's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen. I can feel it in my bones that like there's enough frustrated people out there because they're not willing to do the hard work of actually making the system like literally getting that train moving.
Yeah.
It's much more about like how do I impress my friends with my radicalism. That they're going to get frustrated to the point in time where they're going to do something really really stupid. I mean, if Luigi Mangione is just the starting of that, who knows where that goes.
Oh,
So,
we know where it goes.
well, we had the guy at DIA the other day who ran into a fucking jet engine. Did you see that? I am
No.
curious about this.
What happened
So,
now?
no, somebody ran. It was like the Frontier flight was spooling up for takeoff. Out there, someone hopped the fence and fucking did a witness me right next to the jet engine. And we don't
It
know
was
anything.
Frontier?
It was Frontier. We don't know anything about the guy. And so I'm just waiting. I've been watching the Denver Post a little bit to see if they can, find anything out about it and things like that. But I almost guarantee you run into a fucking jet engine. Okay, I want to see this guy's Twitter account if he's got one. So I mean, this could be a 9/11 kind of thing, man. I mean, I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that it could be, and there's something about it that is fishy. So that has like piqued my radar a little bit.
Can totally understand.
Yeah, we'll see. It might just be fucking fent zombie.
Could be a fence zombie. I mean,
You
so
never know.
there's that fan.
DIA is a long way to walk from downtown now.
You don't walk to DIA from downtown.
No, you don't.
You can
You can take the rough, tough, and dangerous now.
you can, and I suppose this is clearly a one-way trip because if you'd seen a guy and you're like, "Where are you headed?" It's like DIA. It's like, "What is that?" The dude says, "Well, it's like a cardboard box full of wrenches." Right? So
What's wrenches?
so
It's really heavy, man.
so if you're running over to the plane because you're going to throw wrenches in there, which will fuck up the engine, right? The thing is, the human body's not the best thing to go through there if you
No.
want to do this,
No.
right? You just want to. All right, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and bring up.
He had wrenches strapped to him.
Like an explosive vest. Yeah, because what I can tell for you, like one of the things we used to joke about that there on the drill site is like, and guys, look, this is not terrorism, it's not or anything. It's just people that just don't want to work sometimes. It's like, I don't really feel like working today. It's like, oh no, it's like, what would happen if I just dropped like, I don't know, if I just dropped a couple like metal shavings here into the hole? It's like you would destroy everything.
Everything.
And same thing goes with what about that jet engine? What would it take to destroy this? And a person, Patrick, you probably know, it's like, oh, I don't know, a slinky. I don't know, whatever it is that you want to throw in there that's going to shred the
Well, a bird
insides.
will do it. So yeah.
Well, I thought they could survive a bird.
Most of the time, but like They had that whole movie about that guy.
Yeah, okay. Okay. But yeah,
So yeah.
something simple and metal that you could throw in there and that would shred it.
Oh, anything metal will fuck it up.
That's what I'm saying. So like if you went over
Dude, a
there,
fucking like a fucking little luggage lock off
okay,
that'll
yeah,
fuck it up
yeah,
if it's spinning. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Same thing. If you went in there with a slinky and just tossed that in there, a metal
A
slinky,
metal slinky, maybe. Yeah.
it's going to make sharp pieces. It's going to,
Oh yeah, it'll
yeah.
probably fuck it all up.
It's just a handful of ball
A
bearings.
person will definitely do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A handful of BBs. I don't know, things in
A
there that
ball bearing would definitely do
ball
it.
bearing would fuck it up.
Oh yeah.
Human body is like
It'll fuck it
it'll
up.
fuck it up,
Oh yeah.
but you don't have to do that.
No, there's a reason why he chose to do that. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Just throw Rich in there.
What are you doing with it?
Yeah.
When you go in, there's something else going on there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, but that's my point is like I mean I think that we've seen a spike in political violence over the last I'd say 4 or 5 years. You know, it is mostly concentrated on the left. In fact, I think it has been almost exclusively concentrated on the left
I
for
think
the
there have been
last
some
couple of
people
years.
who were caught before they could do some of this stupid shit. Like if you remember,
Yeah, but we don't have abortion bombings and stuff like that like we used to anymore. So it's been a minute since I mean, did have that one guy who went nuts here and killed that cop, and he just
right,
died recently.
right.
But that's got to be 10 years now.
Well, and to be fair, I do not disagree with this. The same thing that they're looking to get Don Lemon on for harassing people in church is the same rule
Yeah,
that they put in place to stop people harassing folks at abortion clinics. I'm like,
that is true.
if you're asking me if I have a problem with that at all, the answer is no.
No, not even
Not at all. Because
Yeah.
you can be across the street, man. That's you wanna
You should be across the street, man.
yeah. If you
Leave
wanna
the fucking
fucking
people alone.
yeah,
So,
if you wanna make your message clear from in front of Ace Hardware or whatever, not in front of the abortion clinic, fucking do it.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
public street, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but don't be blocking access.
No,
So, yeah.
don't go inside.
Don't go inside, yeah, and jack up somebody's sermon. Come on, man. So
And
that was
walk
so
back to
low.
like you're
Oh
such
yeah,
a fucking.
yeah.
It's like oh, I'm a hero. It's like
Yeah,
no, you're not.
fucking cut from the same cloth as MLK. You
You're
know,
a lot of things.
but not
you
that.
have a vague hue similarity, but that is where your similarities begin and
I
end.
don't think he got his nails done as nice as yours are.
So MLK might have had his nails.
He
done.
might have had his nails
He
done.
was a sharp-looking dude because that was part of the. Like,
That was part of the idea. That was part of the movement.
yeah.
So it's like you wear your Sunday best. So when you go protest and you don't throw rocks back. That is not the case anymore. We are so far away from that, man.
Why invoke the man's name if that is not what you believe?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the same. We've joked about it. It's the people who basically that Jesus was a socialist. People. It's like, okay, when's the last time you've been to church? Well, I haven't, but you believe in it, so that's why I'm going to say it.
Right. Yeah. I'm undercutting your message, man. It's like, okay.
Are you now?
Yeah, I'll see. So when you come down to the Methodist Church on Monday, we'll talk about that. So
This is for me. I don't
why
have
would
any
you bring some
religious
soup for the
affiliation.
poor? They need that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you and I have talked about this too. It's like, man, why are you worried about bigger things when your local area needs food?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't get that, man. Like people always want to play in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, man, there's a Pee Wee league down here. Could really use a coach. So, you like football? There you go.
No, you're right. Well, and again, that's that whole when you're talking about political violence and the purpose of it, again, I really don't think the majority of these people that are doing this are doing it because they believe in that cause that severely. I think it's because political violence and activism is your replacement for personality. It is.
Well, and it can be fun. So let's not beat around the bush. I mean,
No,
when
that's
you're the
because
freedom fighter, come on, man. So
well, sir, as a former mayhem enjoyer and frequent
mayonnaise thrower, yeah.
as frequent community adjutant, I guess. I don't. However you want to take this. Yes, I totally understand that, but I will also say that yes, there are a lot of people out there who again, this is not. I don't want to say it's just a technology thing. It is a lot of that has to do with it. But yes, if you're substituting personality, if you don't have that, if
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're trying to impress people, right? I get it. I totally understand that, but that's not solving the problem. That again, that's the sort of like, man, why do these people after transition surgery, why do they commit suicide at such amazing rates? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. That was not the mental issue they were struggling with, and it turns out that hormones and mutilating surgery did not actually make the mental program go away. It just meant that the problem was still there,
And
and their
now it's
junk is fucked
permanent.
up.
Yeah, now it's permanent. There was something about that the other day that they opened like a huge D-trans
They
clinic.
did.
Where was that? Like, it was in a
Uh,
big hospital.
it wasn't a big hospital, and it was in a place that it wasn't like downtown Nebraska. It wasn't a place
No,
where
no,
you're
no,
you're
no. It was like San Jose or some
yeah.
shit
It,
like
it
that.
was it was actually like a blue place.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
may have been on the East Coast actually. It might have been.
Might have been on. Yeah, I think you're right. I
I
think
don't
it
think it
was
was
on the East
Boston, but I
Coast.
think it might have been
Yeah,
somewhere in that area. Yeah,
but it was one of those things. It
or
was like,
Washington.
well, it's just like, like things do have natural consequences to them, and like
That they
this
do.
this whole thing. I mean, eventually you do get to the point in time where everybody kind of sees the natural consequence, and they're kind of like, oh, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And like when you see a place like that starting to get set up because, and who knows why it got set up and what donors or whatever is behind it and yada yada yada. I'm sure somewhere in that entire train, of people who made this happen, you're going to find someone who's like, I shouldn't have listened to my kid, and now I want to make sure this doesn't happen to other people,
Yes.
and there you go. It's like there's your natural consequence to that, you know, in some respects, because I mean, it took me a little while to find someone because YouTube was doing a good job of hiding some of those D-trans videos and interviews and stuff like that. But eventually you could find them
I think
because
it's
you knew who to
bizarre.
follow and
Yeah,
who to kind of
yeah.
dig into. And dude, you talk about some of those heartbreaking bullshit I've seen on the fucking internet. It's like, wait a minute, you're never gonna have kids and you're 22, and now, oh my god, and like, yeah, it was just like there was this one little girl, and I mean, I guess she wasn't really little anymore, but
Yeah.
she detailed her whole story, and it was just like, oh my gosh, man, that's fucking awful. So, and I can see how parents would do that. It'd be like, yeah, okay, I want to support my kid, blah blah blah. Then eventually it gets to a point in time where it's like, wait a minute, okay, you're the one who's actually fully mentally developed here, and you're the one who's going to sign the papers on this, kind of thing.
Your
It's like
thumb's pretty on the scale.
your
Yeah.
thumb's pretty on the scale at this point in time, and so don't give me this kind of weepy story here too much. Just because actually you needed someone to intervene for you, but you had a group of friends who were cheering you on the PTA board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's
that's
like I feel for you, but also this is also partially your fault.
well,
So
that's sort of the thing is the weird inability for people to again when you're talking about something that has been well documented and well known in terms of um, that same situation where parents would make their kids sick, where they would
yeah, yeah.
like this is not a new phenomenon, and
No,
and the perspective of like, well, yes, it applies to everything but this.
no,
This is
yeah,
completely organic and natural, and again, I made my point clear. It's like what you do as an adult is totally up to you, but there's this point
yeah.
where
Over 18, whatever.
yeah, yeah. And again, as long as you understand the nature of it, is like, yes, you're going into this. You will always be this doing this,
Yeah,
right? But it never at any point will this change from this to this. As long as you accept that, right,
yeah,
then we're all going to be happy with it because you know what you are. And the same component of different districts out there where they're saying like, um, the kids will get in trouble at school if they don't refer to people by their preferred pronouns. I'm like, try it. Because
yeah.
you're going to walk that
It's
one
just
straight
not
to the
gonna.
Supreme Court.
Yeah, it's just
You
not
don't
gonna.
get to compel
Yeah,
speech like this, and it's stupid of you to even think that.
no. I mean,
Um,
if kids can wear black armbands at school, they can. Yeah. So come on, man.
I will. Mm. So I got the chance to espouse those totalitarian beliefs in California. Um, let me say this.
On your authoritarian school system. So I'm sorry, brutalist. Listen to the brutalist district. Yeah.
I was the yeah we were talking about the architecture is designed to break spirits.
Right,
Yes, that
exactly.
is correct. I got to espouse some of that, and uh, it is a weird thing.
I'm sure your Russian friends were on board with that.
The Russians thought I was taking it way too far.
Oh, okay.
They thought, yeah, they're like
Really?
very, very much like a
Oh.
"What is wrong with you?"
Well, it is kind of tongue in cheek. Come on, man.
Well, well.
It
So
all
when it
stems from
comes,
a Simpsons episode. You and I both know
it
that.
just no, Patrick. A lot of that stems from a lot of that stems. I'm going to tell you where it stems from. A lot of it stems from the being in public schooling
Mhm.
and thinking about basically the if I want this, what is the logical extension of this and how far of it can I go? And then
Okay.
the ultimate question is, what do I really want out of this?
Right.
Okay. So if basically I put up all this smoke and mirrors, and again, this is not also, there's a part of me where I do say, like, you know what? I do like the concept of uniforms. I do like the idea of here are
That's not that radical, man.
no, here are the
There's plenty of schools in town that do
correct. Here are the 5 sanctioned haircuts that you can have. Here are the, and again,
that. Now
that
you're
may
getting
be
a little bit there.
okay. Now I understand that's something we can discuss, right? I'm willing to part with that. What it really came down to is what do I really want out of all this? And the basic thing is I want the authority for teachers to safely remove fucking disruptions from the classroom. That's it.
Yeah, and that was always that still is a problem. It always was a problem. So,
Correct. So
but I mean, that has to do with, of course, the compulsory nature of school. So, I mean, you can remove a problem, but where do you put them? So,
well, for me,
yeah, exactly. They go back to their parents. Yeah.
well, no, not at all. Remember that in
Did
this
you have a fine system in there where your parents have to pay more to
it's a
get you
brilliant
back?
find system.
Yeah.
Remember, it's
It's going to punish the poorest people the hardest.
no. Again,
It's going to work out perfect.
it's demerit
It's
based,
demerit
right?
based.
So you have that rolling year period, right? They fall off as you move
Mm,
forward. If you hit X amount of demerits, remember that schooling is compulsory, right? So if you are kicked out because of demerits, right? You must attend a private school. If you cannot afford one, the debt will be given to your parents. And ultimately,
yeah.
the debt will shift to you on your 18th
Right.
birthday, right? If you cannot pay that or whatever, listen, license plates need to be stamped. Big rocks need to be turned into
They're
little
going to put
rocks.
you in
It's
prison until you can pay it off. Huh? Debtor's prison. I love it.
well, it's not debtor's prison. You just consider it a crime.
Oh, okay. One that you don't have to go to prison for.
Like you work it off.
Okay.
If you're trying to make
This is like
some
community service. So
yes,
you
but
go pick up garbage
it's
along
the
the way.
service that you have to pay off.
Okay.
Yes. But yes, ultimately, it's just the version of can disruptive students be shifted off somewhere where they're not going to hold back the other kids, and they have a chance to basically work it off, or like I've turned a new leaf. I'm not going to be an asshole anymore, right? No
Yeah.
problem. We can return you to regular society before we just open the pipeline that goes straight from school to prison. Totally fine. But as of right now,
Yeah. I'm not convinced about that, school to prison pipeline stuff anymore. I don't know,
I don't
man.
think school has anything to do with it.
No, I don't really think
No,
it does.
no.
I mean, it can, but like the whole, I can't remember what they used to call that. Whatever. But I mean, I actually think the school system's just. I'm in the minority. I think the school system's just fucking fine the way it is.
So
I don't really have any
you
problems with it. Every time I interact with people who are either in that system, or I go visit them, or I mean, even with my daughter, the interactions that he has with her teachers and stuff like that, there's nothing in there that pisses me off. So,
I imagine there could be things there that would piss you off, but
yeah,
they're not doing them.
exactly. It's
Right.
just not dialing it up to the point in time where the volume gets to me. And I see so many people. Oh my God, the high schools are so bad these days. Blah blah blah.
They're not.
And then I talk to my daughter. I'm like, "When's the last time you saw a fight in school?" She's like, "I've never seen a fight." I was like, "Wow." It's like must be nice.
Did you ever tell her? Did you ever say like, "Well, so these are the fights that we see.
Yeah,
The fights that didn't happen in
didn't happen
school,
in school.
walked off the back
Yeah,
and went into that park
yeah.
or
Otherwise,
in the
in the
ditch.
men's locker room, there was a way you could, open the door so coach couldn't see what you were doing.
That's
Yeah.
correct. That's correct.
And it was like there was, and then the same thing. It was like, wait a minute, you don't have homework on weekends? It's like, no, we have school policy, no homework on weekends. It's like that's fucking awesome, man.
That's the greatest thing I've
That's
ever heard.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's brilliant.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, then you tell them too. It's like, and those are the fights that we saw. If you go a generation back,
oh my god, yeah, they brought knives. Yeah.
well, I had that same discussion with Marina Max. So I was like, so they were talking about like the kind of kids these days, that sort of thing. I said like, okay,
That's a very Russian thing to do, just so
it
you know.
it
Yeah,
was, and to be fair, it was cool seeing it from another perspective.
yeah.
It was like, oh, okay, well, you guys grew up in a different time, but I was like, so like you and I have talked about, what school did you graduate from? It's like this one. It's like, what neighborhood did you grow up in? It's like this one. It's like, did you take any dumb people classes?
You're right, yeah.
Like,
Did you have to
what?
take any remedial classes? Yeah.
It's like,
Tell people.
were you in any of the classes where, I don't know, the kids were like, well, Chris, the reason that you're slow is because your battery's low. If you put this paper clip in the charger, you'll recharge yourself. Then the lights flicker and a kid screams. Um, that happened, but I was
That
like,
did happen.
were
Yeah.
you in any dumb people classes? It was like,
Right.
no. It's like, the dumb people classes where people were like squirting Banaka and the cap, lighting it on fire and dumping it on the floor,
Yeah.
and everybody's doing this, and
Yeah.
all the teacher can say is, "Who's doing that stomping back there?"
Yeah.
Right? We're trying not to burn down your classroom.
Right. Yeah. We put a hole in the carpet.
So if you're that, then that was the whole point that you and I talked about is, if your view of what people are like are based on that subset of people you went to school with, right?
Mhm.
And then say, for example, your bullshit country and its bullshit reporting says, well, our entire country is, we use this sample from this one city of rich kids,
Yeah.
right? And you look,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and it turns out the world does that except for us.
Oh, there's a few that don't.
There's a
There's
few
a
that are
few.
honest about it, but
Yeah, there's a few that are honest about it,
but then when you realize, they say, okay,
but then everybody else sees it as the Olympics, where it's like, yeah,
yes,
so yeah,
yes.
so yeah, she is all woman, sir.
And yet, if I were to go in, all right, tell you what, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go to this part of Beijing, right?
No.
I'm going to take the train out to nowhere, right? And I'm going to put these kids on the test. How do you think they're going to?
Hey, bad,
Right,
bad.
right. So I'm looking at these test scores. 1+1 is rock. It's like, but this is these these test scores are not equivocate. Yeah, it's just you use the same shit.
Plus one is triangle.
That was the funny thing that I saw was they took those results and they took those things
Oh,
and
yeah.
they took the American kids that would be in that commensurate class and they
Crush them.
mopped the fucking
Crush them
floor.
every
They
single
walked.
time. Yeah.
They stomped a mud hole in their ass. It was like, okay, so if we're going to compare our apples to your apples, that was the kind of point I was making. It was like, yeah.
But I mean, that's the world, man. I mean, the problem is like, so kids are such an easy way to add an emotional appeal to some kind of
That's a
like
great point. Yeah.
fucking thing. And so like schools always come into political diatribe because it's like, well, you don't care about kids if you don't
You're
agree
right.
with my point.
Yeah.
And it's fucking stupid. And it's made the system a little bit worse in some respects because it is ridiculously wasteful. We spend a shitload more money on it than we actually need to.
You are correct. And I don't think, I would argue that most of it doesn't actually make it to where it needs to go.
No, most of it does. Yeah. I don't think there's too much graft in the system. So, in terms of like,
There's a big row of fucking administration where that money goes.
well, okay, fine, but at least that's local. So, I mean,
All right,
yeah,
okay,
like, okay, so like,
I got you.
our system is completely different because it's almost, there's no system in the world kind of like ours that's almost 100% locally funded. So in most countries, like in Britain, you have a ministry of education
Yes.
that fucking sucks in, like gobs of money from the dead, just.
All right. No, you're
So-
good on that. That's true. That's true.
So here in the United States, I mean, it's actually your local property tax, and people have bitched about that for years. You know, it's like, oh my god, that means poor schools and poor neighborhoods with shitty houses stay poor, and it's like, yeah, it kind of does, and that's bad. That's definitely a knock-on effect. But there's a lot of programs out there that actually, like Title One, Title Two, they do a lot of supplemental stuff, and so yeah, okay, so your argument is baseline true, but it's been mitigated, you know. But what it really does is it means that if I get really pissed off at my school board, I know what door I can go knock on. And I know, like, there is a fucking meeting coming up next week. And if I show up to it, I'll be one of the three people there. So you're going to have to let me speak. And that's kind of nice, man. It's that small G
People
government,
don't know.
that,
Yeah.
yeah,
People.
people just don't really realize how glorious that is. And I mean, it does result in a lot of bullshit, but when it comes down to it, like, so if you go up, DPS is a fucking, it's a Borg like monster. Okay.
The entity. Yeah.
It's the
You're
entity.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, it becomes this huge, huge thing, where you literally can't fight against. It's going to destroy your entire fleet, kind of thing. And here, I mean, for years, I thought, well, it's fucking dumb that we have like 17 districts. It's actually really smart, okay? Because if your district starts going downhill, people move or they choice their kids out, and you start getting banged on by your board and your teachers and your fucking administrators and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yada yada yada. You don't get your Title One matching funds. Blah blah blah. The next thing you know, you're in the fucking hot seat. All right, and so you can do one of two things. You can rip up stakes and go to Florida like Williams superintendent. He's like, fuck all y'all, I'm out of here.
Dude put on a fucking fake mustache. And
Shelbyville. Where have I heard that before? There he is. Get him.
yeah, changed his name from like Ricky to Ricardo.
Right.
And,
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I mean, that's the beauty of the system here, is because if you take a look at some of the other major cities in Colorado that don't have a system like that,
right.
their school districts are fucked. So DPS is fucked. Okay,
Yeah.
so
You're right. You're absolutely
there's
right.
a reason why all kinds of people will take their kids down to Aurora now. So because they have an independent school district,
Right.
and the same thing's true with like Pueblo. Pueblo's got two districts, and they constantly fight. And you go to their school, their buildings are nice and things like that, but like every time you read the paper, it's like, oh, corruption, blah blah blah, oh, bad test scores, blah 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 blah. They want to save a neighborhood school. Rah, rah, rah. It's like it's because you guys only got two of these, man.
Yeah.
So if you had five of these, all right, the four of them would feast on the carcass of the middle for a little while until it got back on its feet. Because ultimately a district doesn't dissolve. All right, it has to actually evolve in some ways, and they all do here. I mean, years ago when you and I were teaching, D2 was the shithole district.
Yeah.
It's nice now. It's actually up in the runnings again.
I do. In the same way, so in the same way, District 20 was just straight up like aristocracy and flying cars.
No.
They're just another
they're
district.
just another
now.
district now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you're totally right, man. It has this evening effect.
Yeah.
That's really nice. So, and explain that to Russians is probably impossible.
Well, to get to where we originally started from, when you're talking about that Department of Education, right? It is not like you and I have discussed this, but other people. So anybody on the outside that thinks the Department of Education is like this federal monolith.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, no.
That is such
Completely
a
wrong.
complete,
Yeah.
and a lot of people believe it. And there's a lot of things that you would look at this and say, like, all right, well, this is dumb, or this is dumb, or this is. But when it comes to the amount of reach they have, it's just basically a certain amount of, all right, based on what you're doing here, I can give money to you if you meet this criteria.
That's all
That's
it does.
the biggest thing.
That's all it fucking does.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they'll put standards out and they'll do testing and things like that. But I mean, if it comes down to it, and they got a school district that wants to teach kids like this, as long as they're not violating the law, fucking ED's department, their hands are fucking tied.
Right.
Okay, because that's a local entity. It's like like fucking Roscoe and Enos can run their their fucking sheriff's department the way they want because they're elected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to post their numbers. They got to post
exactly.
the data, and if they can be kicked out. In the same way, like again, this thing that we look at certain institutions like that was like, look, the department. I understand you think there are certain departments that wear like capes.
Oh yeah.
but they're not. This is not a cape department.
No, no,
This
no.
is some guys. They're
These are
not
just some guys.
they're they are not on the fucking like skull thrones. They're not. It's this is
Mm.
not. There may be places that do this, and they're mostly
There's definitely
businesses,
places that do that.
but it's not the Department of Ed.
No, man,
It's
if you talk to anybody who goes into business and spends time in business and then goes into government, it's way fucking different. You know, like right off the bat, I was like, wait a minute, I can't tell that guy what to do. It's like, no, he's elected. you know, you know, it's like, he's here for the duration, buddy. You know, and the same thing's true with like the regulations. Like, no, 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 we had to fight that back in the '60s, so no, you can't change that.
Looks like I can't remember what the question was, but that's where I was asking you if the job was. Is this a place where self-report alcohol can't get you fired?
Oh yeah,
But because there are some places where shit, actually a lot of places like East Coast
oh yeah.
where it's just like, hey, look, if you're having if they catch you drinking, your ass is done.
The railroad was like that.
Yeah,
If you self-report, we'd send you to rehab.
yeah.
But if you got busted on a Rule G, actually, we were pretty generous. We would give you one. So
That's
if you got, that's really generous. Yeah. So like every other job that I've worked, especially in the airlines, it was like, no, if you pee hot, you're done.
yeah,
So, but the railroad
yeah.
was the one place. It was like if you piss hot or whatever, even if you got into an incident that was, as long as it didn't involve anything criminal, so like you didn't hit somebody,
Yes,
kind of
yes, yeah,
thing, it
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, so obviously you got a problem, we're going to send you to rehab. And you had like 6 months to do it, and we paid for it, kind of thing. You got paid while you were in it too. So, but if you quit, then you owed us all that money back.
Right,
So, and we would
right.
shit the Jesus out of you.
You know why? Because you don't want somebody to do it
You
again.
don't want somebody to do it again.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So, but then, yeah, that was actually really generous. But most places aren't like that, man. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. And yeah, it's so when you're talking about like government, even some of that depends on like state to state. Because if
It's
you
totally different from state to state. Remember back to like this isn't the case anymore because of online publishing, but remember when like everybody's textbooks came from Texas? So
Texas or California, yeah,
because they were
yeah,
just they sold the most.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so
Which company was it? Was it
there's a couple of there's like Pearson and McGraw Hill and there are a few others.
No, it's not Scholastic. But those are the
Scholastic
two
was
big
part
ones.
of it, yeah. So there were a couple big ones.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, like they had the like you'd find your Texas standards.
you
So
would.
yeah,
Yep.
and then like the smart states would actually just align theirs with Texas if they agreed with them.
It's that easy. Well, because
Yeah.
that's the other part is you don't have to do every chapter.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's one thing that a lot of people don't get. If you don't grow up here, you don't really understand the American education system. Or if if you, I think like what it comes down to is a lot of people have a bad experience with it. So you get one shitty teacher out of the 400 that you had, and then you're like, oh my God, yeah, that fucking thing. I remember Mr. Smith, he used to touch me. I think it's like, well, that's fucking bad. Okay, but those other 399 probably didn't know about that.
well,
Because you
okay.
out in the
So
parking lot.
you're actually using Mr. Smith's busy hands as the counter to that. But I'm talking about the people as like, did I ever tell you how the school system raped me? It's like, what? Tell me how. It's like, so in fourth grade, the Pledge of Allegiance wasn't optional.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they hung the Ten Commandments in my.
And you lived?
They made me do track 1 year.
And you
Oh my God,
survived?
that's right. You're like, this is about your own personal Holocaust, man.
They made me do a group project?
Maybe do a group project.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my God, I thought you ate metal shavings. My bad. And I'm not, dude, I'm not sitting here.
You're out on the rack for a month. Yeah.
I'm not sitting here like you and I are doing just a little bit of like kids are pussies. But you know what? Kids were pussies back then.
They were totally pussies back then too.
So
Some things don't change, man.
No.
The kids
So,
did not like homework. They all wanted
no.
more recess. They wanted longer lunches. You wanted Fridays off. You prayed for snow days.
Yes.
It's the same.
The
So you
human
had cool
condition.
teachers and you had stupid teachers.
Correct.
Yeah, you still had mandatory like fucking assemblies and stuff like that.
Everybody's got something corny where like I remember like for us it was like, oh my God, we're going to be line dancing in gym for the next
I
3 days.
remember that. Yep.
You go to
I
other
remember
school
that.
districts, they say like, we did square dancing.
Yep. I remember line dancing. So, yep. It was like, we got gym today. It was like, oh, wait a minute. There's fucking tape on the floor.
Like everybody has with that, right? And that's again, it's I don't
I
know.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Had it happen.
It
I mean,
totally
I know
happened. Yeah. They
you
make you dance with girls. So,
Jesus Christ. And I know
what a fucking
like
crime,
again
man.
to get back to that same thing,
Yeah.
it's like, and you survived.
You
I know.
survived the poor thing, man. Did you swim all the way across the channel by yourself? You know, you know?
No, and I get it. I get it. I know that you. I know that you want to associate psychological terms for it, and I get it. And I know you think that you have PTSD from being made to line dance.
Dude, that needs to stop. That's the next thing on my list. So is
Misapplied
the misapplied
psychological terms.
psychological
Yes,
terms.
yes,
It's getting a
yes.
little bit thick, man. And you know, like I notice it even with my students now, where like even if so, oh, that causes me trauma, everybody else gets the eye roll. They're like, you
Yes, I
know,
know.
so,
Well, again, and it's that whole thing of let's the whole take on that. That's the whole point. It's like, oh, I understand that you have that. You're dealing with it though,
yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
What's not going to happen is people aren't going to stop what they're doing,
right.
right? If you need a minute to go ahead and catch your breath,
Yeah.
oh, just the whole thing of like when people say that just having anxiety about something is means enough to stop it. It's like, no, you're just having it.
It just means you're not going to get to do it. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
okay. So I mean, we're still going to do this thing, you know, but I guess you can wait here. You know,
Right.
there's a lot of things like that, man. That are just it's wearing a little thin, and it is also it's not the get out of jail free card that it was 10 years ago.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and like
Yes.
and here's the group that's gonna like this is the group that this is gonna get me in trouble if anybody ever hears this, but
Please.
it's the fucking veterans. So there are a bunch of them who are like, you fucking pussies. It's like, remember that you signed up for this shit. And now I'm starting to see some of them call each other out for this, you know? And it's like, okay. And then, you know, now I'm starting to see it amongst my students. It was like, you know, like, oh, I can't participate. It'll cause me anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why do you even come?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, you know, you do this in every class and you say this every time, you know, kind of thing. And it's like tired of seeing people get let off the hook for that stuff, you know? Because they know what they're doing.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is so again, when you see people that have, I mean, I don't want to dive too far into this, but this is ultimately something you know.
Yeah.
It's something that you know as a father. It's something that you know as having been around children, right? When it comes down to it, um, it is that is how children learn. Whatever strategy that they do that works, they
Yep.
do it again.
Yeah, they
right?
figured out the strategy.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
So
So
we've got a whole generation of kids who've grown up where that was like, oh, you're brave for speaking your piece, you know, kind of thing, and you know, standing up for yourself, and that's a good lesson. But in that time, they also learned to say that, like, well, I don't like math. It's you know, I don't have to do it, you know, or I get easier math if I say this.
right,
And the thing
right.
is like they will side eye each other now. They're like, I know what you're fucking doing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I know. And it's like, you can do it.
Well, because I mean, these are the people who watch their parents do
I
that.
know. Yeah.
These when I joke about like
Yeah.
my parents are the biggest pussies on the planet. My mom is at home right now milking a headache,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And acting like she's a victim on this. And again, this is the same thing where I understand why the reaction to it was so strong, right?
Yeah.
So at the very beginning of my scholastic career, I could say that there was bullying. And I could say, like, somewhere,
Yeah.
maybe middle school, a little bit of high school, maybe, but most of us, that was mostly
It
done
was
with the
basically
generation.
done by, yeah.
The worst offenders of that were the generation before. So the people around that who turn around and say, like, you know, that whole thing of, I have anxiety. I know. Let's kick the shit out of him at recess because he has anxiety. So when your response is like, we need to
It's never happened anywhere ever.
But I'm talking about. I'm talking about. So the beginning of my generation and the tail end of their generation, where it was like, this person is different, or this person, wow, he's
That
mentally
did happen.
different. Let's kick his ass, right? Let's
Yeah,
ostracize.
that did
Let's
happen.
let's try to get this kid to kill himself because he's different, or God help you, that same thing of like, oh, what do you mean you don't like girls that way, right? So yeah, there was a point to where that was going on. So
Yeah.
to turn around and say maybe we should do that, right? But again, like we've talked about, nobody just turns the temperature to 71. It is always 60 or
Or
89,
89. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
right? And ultimately, that's what we're doing right here is accepting, like, yeah, maybe that whole thing of like, oh, he's Jewish, huh? And you say, and you get that kid and you take him outside and say like, I noticed that you're going by Lee. It's like,
Is that short for Levi?
it's like, shame to your name, huh,
Yeah,
Leibowitz? Right? Yeah, that's
Leibowitz now,
the whole thing is like that we went through some of that shit and said, yeah, we need to change some of this stuff. But yeah, if you're getting to the point of like, well, I have anxiety, I have math
I have
anxiety.
math anxiety. Yeah, I
It's like,
can't do
oh,
math.
well, okay, I guess you can.
A
But that
lot,
doesn't mean I'd have to give you an A for it.
well, yeah, the IEP does.
That's
It's a
what I'm
problem.
saying.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, what do you mean I have to come up with an alternative assignment? Fuck this.
So yeah, the whole thing of ultimately, Pat, you're right. The kids will police themselves on this.
They are getting
Yeah,
better at policing
they will.
themselves, and
Yeah.
they do get and you can't come in there as like the older guy now, and oh, I know what
Right,
you guys are doing. You're
right,
like, no, you
right.
fucking don't. And it's like, yeah, you're right, I don't, but I'm kind of wise to it. So, but you don't want me to say that. I got it, kind
Well,
of
you don't
thing.
want to say.
Yeah.
Look, Pat. Again, the Nigerian prince scam is the lottery scam. Is the
Right.
thing where they're calling it. It's like I don't know the details of the scam you're pulling, but I know the scam.
Yeah, I know a scam when I see one. Yeah.
Right. It's not something I have to know the details of. I just have to feel the force, and I know when there's a
Right.
fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
when there's a scam afoot, and I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Spidey sense is going on. It's like, oh wait, you guys are trying to figure out how to get out of work. Got it. Yeah.
We said that's where our circle always begins and ends. It's getting out of work.
Yeah.
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 All right. All right, Pat. That's cool.
All right, I'm Pat.
Yeah, I'm Jeffrey.
Hitting button.
Yeah.